In the name of our Lord and Savior love. ah, it is Father Flo and Sister Praolo coming to y'all over on YouTube and Facebook, wishing you the best of Sundays, the best of life. Cheers to your goodness. Cheers to your awesome. Cheers to your stability. Cheers to your security. And cheers to your belonging. But before I get to the chewing and the choosing and the belonging and the cheering, I need to let you know that I'm Dr. Flo, online coach and mentor. I help bold dreamers follow their bliss every day online and in real life by using their time, talent, and treasure for good in the world. We do 3 E's here in our network. We encourage, we equip, and we empower. And we also do it in a very easeful way these days because life is complicated enough without all of the habba babba. I'm joined every Sunday in the hot seats by a wonderful human on the planet. You know her as Tara Praolo, owner operator of Tara Praolo Studio. She'll tell you more about who she is in 3, 2.
Oh, he didn't even give me the one, y'all. Like you said, I'm Tara Paolo. I am your resident Black biracial multi-passionate musician, and I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about and push you to do the same, specifically on Threads currently because she's spicy when she wakes up in the morning, and it's my choice of app. And I just gotta say, Meta did something right. They did something right, and I hope they don't ruin it because they did something right. But let's get to the national day today. The national day, they give us, I believe, the new week on Sundays. So I think we have some week things in here as well. But I'm going to read them down. Y'all tell me your favorite in the comments. All right. It is National Hospitality Workers Appreciation Day, which is
Shout out to all the hospitality workers
shout
for
out to you.
sure. Yeah,
I'm so
we've been
sorry.
there.
I'm so sorry for you.
Our
Um,
hearts are with you. We've been there.
literally,
Tara is a
literally.
Starbucks barista formerly. I'm a Cracker Barrel Red Lobster server and cook.
I have this little speaking of okay, so I'm making seafood boil tonight, my own. And they had spiny tailed lobster tails on sale at Hy-Vee. And so
What makes a difference? What's the difference between a spiny tailed lobster and a smooth one?
it's a different kind of lobster. There's like Maine
Oh,
lobsters and
like
spiny tail lobsters. Have you not heard of like a spiny tail lobster?
I worked in Red Lobster, but I didn't go
Oh,
that deep
well,
with it. I think
they have Maine lobsters.
that's what they do have. That's the only kind of lobster
The
we have.
only kind, right?
Yeah,
Smooth, and they got smooth tails. The spiny tails, they're spiny tails. That's why they call them a spiny tail lobster. Did you also know there's blue lobsters?
I
Did
did
you
know
know
about
this?
the blue ones, but the spiny tail. Well, there's spiny tail iguanas. I don't want to eat that.
No.
Spiny tail. Oh yes,
The little, like
yes,
they're smaller, right? And they got pokey things
yes.
on their tails. That's why they're called
Bless them.
spiny-tailed lobsters. Anyway, I don't know how we got on that. Oh, red lobster, and I'm eating lobster for dinner. It's also Peace Corps Week.
Hmm.
Curly. It's today is Curling is Cool Day, y'all. Curling is cool. Join us next year, next February, January, February
I
time
have
for
a
the
question.
Olympics.
Oh,
Yes,
you are talking about Olympic style sportsmen and
curling.
sportswomen and
That's what I
curling,
think
not
it is.
curling your hair.
It says, yeah, the picture is definitely of the sport
Okay.
curling.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Mhm.
my hair.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. So, but join us next year. We'll have plenty of watch parties, y'all. Um, it is. I don't like this day. Defender of the Fatherland Day. It is
Mhm.
Diesel Engine Day. See,
Okay.
y'all, that's weird. It is the Emperor's Birthday, Japan, is what it says. Um, Guyana Republic Day. National Banana Bread Day. I love a banana bread.
You
Okay,
love a banana bread. Do
love a
you like
banana bread.
nuts in your banana bread or no nuts in your
I will
banana
take both. I
bread?
love
I
I
want I
love
want walnuts in my banana bread. Yeah. I
I
used to
love
make banana bread, and you make a mean zucchini bread. I said that like I've had some, but I've watched you eat
yeah,
it to satisfaction.
zucchini bread, zucchini muffins, but it's more because I eat the banana like, the only time that I would make a banana bread is if I had bananas that were overripe,
Right.
but I never have that because I always use them. So, Anyway,
Yeah, I always eat my bananas in the Raisin Bran fresh. If they do go over, which is very, very rare because there's vegans in this house, and I'm a part-time one.
mhm.
When they do go over, I freeze the bananas and turn them into smoothie base.
Yeah, I I also think I have some frozen bananas for smoothies, but I never use them. They're in the bottom of my freezer.
You don't
Okay,
use them, they're gonna turn into, like, icy bananas, and that's just like a whole yeah,
yeah,
you
they
if
probably
it
come in
wait,
there.
how long have they been in there?
I
Ah,
mean, they're in their skins, you know?
oh, even worse, because I peel them and then freeze them so
Oh,
they
no.
can drop right into the blender. They're
Oh,
smoothie base. How you
because
gonna peel a frozen, banana, Paolo?
you let it defrost for about 5 minutes, and then you take a paring knife and you cut it away.
That is a very logical response. Okay.
It's just I mean, it's a
Listen, folks,
thing.
today I learned how to peel a
I did
frozen
used to work
banana
at
and
Starbucks where we used frozen bananas, that was a thing.
oh, for
Um,
some reason, I didn't think that was gonna work, but I also today learned what a spiny tail lobster was, so
well, there we go.
I'm with
Uh,
it.
it is National Dog Biscuit Day. It's
Okay.
National Play Tennis Day. Oh, this one's for Dr. Flo and I. It is National Rationalization Day.
National ru It is, and we've got one for everything that we do, folks, trust
Everything,
me.
especially Dr. Flo.
Yes, yes, for sure. I can tell you a
Um,
story or 2.
oh, I don't know how you feel about Tootsie Rolls, but it's National Tootsie Roll Day. I don't really like them. I like the little flavored ones, the little vanilla ones. I like those ones.
Right. I do have a preference for those, fruity Tootsie Rolls. What the Tootsie Rolls always make me think of Planet Fitness because they always have them in the front of the Planet Fitness, which I'm
Do
like,
you
it's
think
very
they
interesting
still
thing.
do in this economy? Do you think they still do today in 2025? Do they have Tootsie
Do
Rolls in Planet Fitness?
do Planet
Um, and while he's looking that up, I'll finish this off. It is Pinocchio Day. It is World Peace and Understanding Day. Y'all remember in Miss Congeniality when everybody's like, "I just want world peace." Um, it's also Dakota Fanning's birthday. Happy birthday, Dakota. I don't know who this next person is. It is Desiree Montoya's birthday, and it's also Emily Blunt's birthday. Happy birthday to all of you. I really don't know who Desiree Montoya is. Mm. Oh, she apparently has 2.9 million followers on TikToks.
He's popular to somebody, just not to
To
us.
somebody.
It says whether Planet Fitness has Tootsie Rolls may vary by location because each club is independently owned and operated. You can contact your home club manager to find out if they have Tootsie Rolls. Planet Fitness first offered Tootsie Rolls at the front desk in 1996 to encourage
Wow.
interaction between staff and members. They originally offered a yellow banana flavored Tootsie Roll in addition to the traditional chocolate and the grape flavor that you like.
I
No?
no. Van-
Orange?
vanilla.
Do they make are you sure it's just plain vanilla?
Yes, it's the one in the blue wrapper. Vanilla Tootsie Rolls. Look them up. Vanilla.
Did y'all hear the disdain in her voice? It's the one in the
Yes, it is in the blue packaging. I just looked it
oh,
up. We can get
It
them from
is.
Amazon or Walmart. All of those are bad. However, all of it is bad. So if you are in an area where it's a food desert and all you have is Walmart, Target, Amazon, please shop there. Don't starve yourself. That's not
You
necessary.
also go to Tootsie Roll Holiday. Oh, you I don't think I could say that. They call them in I guess other places they call them MIDGEES, Tara. We're not doing that today.
I don't know what that means.
Yes, you do. MIDGEES. They don't call them big, they call them
But that has a T in that word, dear. The word that you're talking about.
I know they just leave it off. They're saying holiday midgies. We can't say holiday midgies.
It says it was created. Okay, I
They call
we're
them
going all
midgies.
in, y'all.
Midgies is too close to the
It
X.
is.
I don't
But
think
also, it says midgies are bite-sized, chewy Tootsie Roll candies that come in a variety of flavors, including chocolate and vanilla.
yeah. Now you're
And
gonna make me wonder if
additionally,
midgies are PC. Can we say
they are
midgies?
they are gluten-free, peanut-free, and kosher. Leo Hirschfield created the first midgie in 1896 using a European recipe. He named the candy after his daughter, Clara, who had the nickname Tootsie. Midgies are still one of the most popular Tootsie Roll candies. You're welcome, folks, for your deep dive
We
in
learn something new every day.
named
I,
after
I, I
his daughter.
now put in the word midge, midge. Midge is a small fly-like insect.
Oh wow. It looks like a mosquito.
It does.
Oh look. Yeah, it's yeah, Minnesota state bird. Is a mosquito. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wait.
Because it's a joke in Minnesota that we call the mosquito our Minnesota state bird because they're so big up here.
Why
Because
do
we have
y'all
so many
have
lakes.
mosquitoes like that and also negative 20-degree weather? That seems
Because we have so
cruel
many
and
lakes,
unusual.
and then because we have so much snow, when the snow melts, it creates pools, which is where mosquitoes grow.
So go into YouTube and just as one word altogether, Loretta, just type in Andre in the flow. Just all together. Andre in the flow. And it's gonna pop you right into our faces. And we've got somebody watching over there right now. You're loved and lovable.
You have to say
Learning
hello
about
to us to
we're
know who's
learning about midgies and
and
midges and staying away from HR.
oh god. Would you like me to carry into We the Urban, or do you want to do some? You want to mix it up and do part of the
The
chakra note?
scripted notes, for sure, for sure. Just want to let everybody know that you're in a Love and Action Daily Boost. We've been here for over 67, 68 weeks now sharing. It's a project that Tara and I are keeping afloat because we want to be encouragement in the world. And we were consistently encouragement before things went tits up in our government. And we're just staying consistent with our calling. And I don't even think Tara calls it a calling, but when I call her, she does come sometimes. So whether it's Jesus calling or Father Flo calling, she does help us encourage you all 7 days a week with the help of Poppy Water, and for which we are very, very grateful. We're in week 9 of the year. It's all about using gratitude as a love language. And we're pivoting out of last month uh, uh, and that theme, Tara, what was the theme last month?
Child, click back on. Uh,
Ah,
it was Love and Community Month.
it was Love and Community Month. It was. It was. So we're gonna just transition. We know that our months are not moving quite with the calendar because months are not 4 weeks. They have a little extra junk in the trunk. But we do want to be mindful of love and community and how we are moving forward into this week's theme of gratitude as a love language. Y'all know gratitude is something that gets me going all the time. It is a transformative love language that deepens relationships, it strengthens our connections, and it opens our heart. And each day, as we align this week with our chakra, we're also going to be aligning with gratitude. Today, let's talk about grounding in our gratitude. As I said earlier, the root chakra is all about stability, security, and belonging. And we talk a lot in our community about the crisis of belonging in our country. A lot of people don't feel like they belong to their own inner hearts, but they also don't feel like they belong to the world because intentionally we're being pushed into our phones into a certain type of social and emotional isolation. What Love and Action seeks to bring is a sense of belonging and stability to your day. And we do it every Sunday, Tara and I, by rooting you in the mantra, I am. In a few moments, Tara's going to talk from her inspiration of the day from We the Urban. But now, before I tell you about gratitude for life's foundations, there are things we can be grateful for today. Our home, we can be grateful for our family, both our family of origin and our online family, and also the communities that we build with each other in our fractals. When we build strong foundations of gratitude in our home, in our family, and in our community, it creates a sense of safety People often say to me, Tara said it. Well, she stopped saying it. She used to say it a lot, but we stopped saying it. Because I used to, I'm a very sassy person. And I quit back and I'll go, when she says, Dr. Flo, be safe. I'm like, what does that even mean, be safe in a world like this? Yada, yada, yada. And so people don't really tell me to be safe when I leave the house anymore, because I used to ask them, like, well, what does that even mean to be safe if there's people lurking? Well, today we have an example and an answer in our text today. The way that you create a sense of safety for yourself is by grounding yourself in a sense of home, a sense of family, and a sense of community. If you carry that with you everywhere you go, including the uplifting encouragement that Tara's about to pour into our hearts, that's how you actually get a sense of safety. That's where I find it in the world. It's no longer something that's abstract. It's something that I can have. Home, family, and community. Back to you, Tara.
Home, love, family. There was once a time I must have had them too. Home, love, family. I will never be complete until I find you. Boo doo 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 doo. One step at a time, one hope, then another. Y'all know she teaches that song a lot. Okay,
There's a lot. There's a lot of when it gets towards the end. Ba ba da
yeah.
ba da ba. Does it also modulate in the middle of the chorus?
Ah, no, well, okay. The home love family is in a different key than the beginning and the end.
Yes, it is.
Right. So that ba da 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 is putting us back in the original key. One step at a time, one hope, then another. Who knows where this road may go?
Where's
Back
that
to
from?
where I was. Okay. I'm supposed to be reading y'all inspo.
Could you cite the source since we got that wonderful day of interpretation? What is the original text? What is that? We know this song. What's it from?
It is
Anastasia?
that is
Uh,
Journey to the Past from Anastasia. Yes.
Anastasia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anastasia.
Anastasia. Great movie. It's from the movie, y'all. Okay, let me give you because I think this color is pretty. So y'all can enjoy this color with me as Dr. Flo does me a solid and brings up the screen. Here we go. I'm gonna read while he brings that up. This says the affirmation of the day is my mind is a magnet for abundance, clarity, and peace. And also, I was a little bit annoyed at We the Urban for a second because they kept advertising their book. However, now they're advertising their phone wallpapers, and I just want to encourage y'all to like go get them because we all need these reminders. I have like a, a Pinterest thing on my phone that pops up and gives me inspo. So anyway, the lack of empathy was the closure. The lack of respect was the closure. They really love this one, y'all. They've like reposted it like 12 times. The lack of apology was the closure. The lack of safety was the closure. The lack of remorse was the closure. The lack of care was the closure. The lack of accountability was the closure. The lack of honesty was the closure. The lack of closure was the closure. Let that ish go, people.
Could you read that one more time?
One more.
The lack of closure is the closure.
The lack of closure was the closure. One more time, all the way down. The lack of empathy was the closure. The lack of respect was the closure. The lack of apology, that's a big one, y'all, was the closure. The lack of safety was the closure. The lack of remorse was the closure. The lack of care was the closure. The lack of accountability was the closure. The lack of honesty was the closure. And the lack of closure was the closure. Be someone you love first. Here's their wallpapers. Y'all see it? Now available 65 limited edition We the Urban wallpapers for your phonesies. This is a repeating one for those of you watching us or listening to us on a non-visual platform. No one should work full time and still worry about affording the basics. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. If we can just all come together and like agree on this alone, we would have a better world. No one should work full time and still worry about affording the basics. It's going to get so much better. May you be released from wanting things that aren't meant for you. The secret is getting unstuck. Nope, that's not what it says. The secret to getting unstuck is radically accepting where you're at now with grace. Let go of expecting perfection out of yourself. You're not always going to be your most productive. Make perfect decisions or get it right. A little self compassion will take you a long way. Say it with me. My peace is non negotiable. I protect it like I protect my life. There's a typo because it is my life. I've overcome a lot and I refuse to compromise my inner tranquility for anyone ever again. Period. Breathe. Everything takes time. Everything will fall into place. Everything is going to be okay. Everything will work out in the end. One more ad. Do something nice for yourself today. Something that doesn't involve your phone. Those of you, listen, I don't think chronically online is a bad thing, but y'all, some of y'all need to go out and touch grass a little bit more than you do. You can be chronically online and touch grass. That's all I'm going to say. Uh, Last line. Don't let taking care of your physical health fall to the priority list. Love. One more time. Don't let taking care of your physical health fall off. I don't think I said off the priority list. Love. There were multiple typos in that one. There were multiple typos in that one. I just, but don't let that fall off. It's fine. It's all good.
Loretta says below, truth, Tara. Yes. Thank you, Loretta, for coming over to the YouTube. We see you. I'm putting your comments on screen, and I see greetings, Dr. Flo and Tara. Greetings in the name of our Lord and Savior, love. Loretta, it is so good to see you on YouTube, Facebook, and also TikTok as we share love today. Tara just shared inspiration from We the Urban. And now we're going to ground you all for the week. And this is not grounding like our parents when they would say, go to your room, you're grounded. Although it probably felt very similarly at times. This is all about taking your soul roots and your heart roots deep, 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 deep into your Sunday so that no matter what weather comes this week into your life, you won't blow away because you'll have deep roots. So here's a grounding exercise. If you're safe to do so, everybody close your eyes and visualize deep red roots growing from your feet into the earth. With every inhale, feel gratitude for your home, gratitude for your body, and gratitude for your survival. Inhale. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my body. I'm grateful for my survival. Exhale. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my body. I'm grateful for my survival. One more round. Inhale. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my body. I'm grateful for my survival. Exhale. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my body. I'm grateful for my survival. Take a cleansing breath, everyone. Here's a bonus affirmation for you. I am grateful for the stability and support in my life. Folks like Jimmy Jams. Have you seen the reel yet? I put Loretta and Jimmy Jam's name up in lights above Poppy Water, walk in the groceries home. Was it last night? It was last night. It was last night. Ooh, time flies when you're having fun. I'm grateful for the stability and support in my life. A few actionable practices that you all can do to start your week off on the right foot is that you can express gratitude for the foundations in your life. Consider calling or texting a family member, a childhood friend, or a mentor and thank them for providing support in your life. It's important to acknowledge that none of us, good brother, I love you. It's important to acknowledge that none of us are surviving in this society without kindness from each other and love shown. And so, a thank you to Loretta and to Jimmy and to Tara and to Poppy and to Hartman and to everybody who's been kind, for the support is really, really important to the foundation of me and the community. Speaking of foundations, Tara is working over the next 10 years. We'll give her 10 years. We got to get this baby like in school or homeschool. Tara Praolo will eventually officially launch a foundation because her heart for keeping artists like me and so many other artists, the children in her studio, we should be talking soon and as often as we can about these kids whose family fell on a rough time and they're seeking to stay in lessons. And Tara is building the foundational structures to provide lessons for those kids monthly so they can keep music alive in their hearts because music is therapy for so many of us. And the Tara Praolo Foundation, even though it's not a real thing yet, um, uh, it is changing the reality of so many people whose names you know, like Flo and Poppy Water, and also folks whose names you don't know. What's a personal story from you, Tara, about how your foundation, or I'm going to kind of pivot you into a treacherous water kind of a question because I'm an Oprah style interviewer and I'm always going for the tears. Could you talk to me a little bit about your teacher who recently transitioned, whose funeral
Ooh,
you attended, and how the foundational, maybe some of the foundational teachings that she shared or the way she anchored you in your life? You seem very moved by her and a little misty blue. And so maybe this
yeah,
would be a story that would help people understand how gratitude for a teacher shapes who we are.
yeah. I actually have a couple stories about teachers, and I can also share one about the the person that was coming up for me was my daddy. Um, but anyway, uh,
Yeah, well, go. We went to
I'll go
Daddy
all the
first or the
directions.
late. Yeah, okay,
So
okay.
love to the Pierce family. I had a opera professor in graduate school, which was I graduated 10 years ago, officially this May, which is wild. But 10 years ago, this May, uh, I was still up in Duluth, and while she wasn't my voice teacher, she was the opera professor, and she was one of those people that was just a light. Uh, she was this little short little thing, like barely taller than me, and she'd flit down the halls. And she's like, when you think about like opera singers, that personality is the personality you think of. Like, she was this little thing, and she was bubbly, and she would like, that's the way she laughed. She like laughed in opera. And it was like she was this high coloratura soprano. She was, middle aged and still knocking out like super high notes and performing. And like, she was just one of those people that was really fun to be around. And I did multiple shows with her where she actually cultivated like a lot of my backstage experience and my ability to do admin stuff. So I would run the light boards for her. I was running rehearsals for her. I was doing some stage directing, like in addition to all the performing. And so she was like the person that showed me that I could do all of that. And then she was also, I'll probably never forget it. I was practicing one day, um, and in grad school, like, there you just find open rooms, and it's not necessarily a practice room. Sometimes it's like, the choral room, and you're just in there because it's open. And I was in there, and she happened to walk by, and she goes, I had been working really hard in graduate school. For those of you that don't know, I came from undergrad, calling myself a mezzo soprano, um, because I had so much color and nobody really knew what to do with me in undergrad. And love to you, Dr. Struve, if you ever see this, because you were young and I was younger. Um, but I refused to sing high in undergrad. Um, so I was transitioning from mezzo soprano to soprano, and one of my biggest struggles in grad school was singing high. Like it just was. I just had a lot of struggles with finding my own color and my own way to sing up there. Um, and so anyway, I was practicing, and she walked by and she glanced in and she said, just in her little way, she was like, "Oh, I think I hear some coloratura." And I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." Um, and yeah, she was just a joy. She was just someone that, like, I mean, I didn't stay in touch with her after I left school. I'm not that type of person, um, really. But it was really, I think in the moment that I learned of her passing, I really just remembered how, like, impactful she was in those 2 years of my life, and I'm not sure that I recognized that when I was 22, 23. Um, so yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit about Alice Pierce, and again, like, rest in peace.
I
Love to
love
your
it. I
family.
love it. And shout out to everybody who's going for the high notes, regardless of where your voice sits on the scales.
Yeah,
And also, special shout out to the people who acknowledge what they hear as talent in another individual, even casually. It really has a lasting
impact.
impact, a lasting impact beyond
Impact.
suckery succotash. But it has a lasting impact beyond the life of a person. What you do for a person lasts way beyond who you are. Oh, I'm stumbling all these words right now because I'm trying to get to the story about your father. I didn't want to get away.
Yeah,
I know your father means so much to you, Mr.
there are
Charles.
I have so many stories about my daddy, y'all, but, like, my dad is the foundation of my entire teaching philosophy. My daddy said to me when I went to college, he said, "Baby girl, don't you ever sing trained. You always sing free." That's direct daddy quote. "Baby girl, don't you ever sing trained. You always sing free." Um,
I use
and
that one every day myself.
like, I
Thank you,
just
sir.
thank you, daddy. And the other way that I think, again, my dad is really impactful on my life. I am grateful for the closeness of my adult life to my dad. Because it wasn't, a lot of people don't get that gift, and a lot of people, if you have a slightly more distant, like, my dad didn't live with us when I was a kid, um, you don't always get that relationship with your dad. Um, so I'm really grateful for that. But my dad's, like, stoicism and calmness, and, like, he never flies off the handle. Like, my daddy can be angry, but he does not fly off the handle because he's a military guy. And so I think, like, that personality and, like, his way of telling stories is just, it has made such an impact on me in the way that I visualize the world and in the way that I see the world, and in his ability not to hate the people that have done him wrong, right? Like, there are definitely people and stories that he has told me of these of people who have really truly harmed him, and he holds no anger towards them, and he walks through his life very calm, very collected, very observant, like, and that whole personality was so impactful to me as a kid. And I like to think that in a lot of ways, I have gleaned that and used that in my own life. So I'm very grateful to my daddy, for his openness and for his, insistence that even though I was in academia, and even though, like, he was like, "You will be the top of your class, and your class is the top 1% in the country, and you will change the world, and you have to do this." What's wrong, baby? You might uh bottle and just lay them down um in the bedroom. So anyway, I just, even as a parent, like thinking about that, like my dad parenting me, and then like the way that I choose to parent my kid. Um, yeah, I'm very grateful for the foundation that my daddy laid for me.
Shout out to you, Mr. Charles. You're amazing. Gratitude grounds us in love and stability. Just being grateful for our family, grateful for our home, grateful for our body, and grateful for our survival brings more love and stability into our lives. I want to encourage everyone today, if you have a moment, to write down 3 things you're grateful for in your foundation. They don't need to be anything lofty, but just jot down 3 things that you are profoundly grateful for that's part of your foundation. 3 people or 3 things. Like I always tell Poppy Water, and I told him as I was recording the video from last night, the thank you video to our loved and lovable crew. I said, what you appreciate in this life appreciates. What you clap for grows. What you shine light on begins to shine. And so I want to thank y'all again for shining light on Tara and her studio and her students, including myself, one of the oldest. Am I the? No, I'm not your oldest student by far. She's an intergenerational facilitator of sound and freedom. Um, but I'm grateful for the light that you shine. No, no, it's actually the light that you hath shone upon Tara and myself and Poppy and Angie and Loretta and Jimmy. The light hath shone.
The
The
only thing
light
that went through my head was, "This is the day that the Lord hath made." Child.
he hath made it, and the light of the Lord hath shone upon thee.
Hath showed.
It
Hath
hath
showed.
shone. Y'all, we laugh every day. This is a family operation. If you ever see us screaming by the mozzarella in the back of the kitchen, just know it's all love. We don't typically allow yelling in the kitchen, but that's not to say that it won't happen.
And no
If you,
running in the kitchen either. No
we don't
running.
run in the
No
kitchen
running.
and no sharps, y'all. No
No,
sharps.
no
No
sharps. No. We have a lot of rules about the kitchen. We have a lot of
We have a
rules
lot
about.
of rules, and this is why people cut their eyes at us. But we promise y'all, we're trying to like help each one get to the promised land. Yeah, we do have a lot of rules though. That was a mouthful. And when we get back to deconstruction structure, hopefully next week. I apologize for missing last week, you all. But when we get back to it, we'll talk about all of the many hats and the kind of love modalities that go into actually building community. A lot of people say they want community and coalition, but they're not willing to wear all the hats. Like Tara sometimes is my mom, sometimes she's my sister, sometimes she's my coach, sometimes she's my uncle, sometimes she's my daddy. You're like it's just a
I was laughing because when you said it, somebody called me a woman the other day, y'all. Can you believe it? Somebody called me a woman. Somebody called
and
me
the
a woman.
and the first thing I say, he goes, I would love to have Tara, in the conversation to give a woman perspective. I said,
She's
that
not
ain't
a
no
woman.
woman. That ain't no woman. Ah, which reminds me of like the poem "Ain't I a Woman?" Like you are a woman. And he was completely confused because we joked too much at the wrong times. We're very serious, unserious people, y'all. But the truth is that to define Tara, to invite Tara into a space as the woman perspective, is a whole different thing to unpack. I don't think he was pushing it too far in that direction. However, to invite you into the space solely as a woman would be a defeat to the vastness of who you are. You are a woman and like infinite things more, and we're unlocking parts of ourselves each day as well. So we're never gonna put baby in the corner. And
Yeah.
he said woman, and I said, you've not heard her expel air from her top end yet, because one burp out of Priolo, and you'll know that she is definitely coach. Do
True.
you burp in public, or do you just burp like behind the scenes with like me and Poppy and folks? Like how
Well,
often do
I will say I attempt not to in public.
okay,
However,
okay.
I did have I had to burp in the middle of a lesson, and I burped. Actually, my voice students get a little bit more of it, but my piano students, I usually don't have to burp, but I had to burp in this piano lesson, and that child looked at me like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "You know what? Sometimes it happens. I bet you burp too." You know?
My mom said more room out than end, than end. More room out because I was talking about the top end and the bottom end. My mom was like thinking about the top end and the bottom end. It doesn't matter whether it comes out the top end or the bottom end. More room out than in. Anyway, on behalf of Tara Olo Studio, very human, Poppy Water 33, very human, and Andre and the Flow, very human, and loving each other in community, along with folks like Loretta and Angie and Jimmy and beyond. On behalf of all of us in Love and Action Network and those to come, we invite you this week as you ground in love to stay in your power, stay in your joy. As Tara says, joy is the revolution. It's behind her as she took a dive. Uh, and stay loved and lovable, y'all. If anybody ever throws a shoe, we know who's gonna duck first. Take care, y'all.